Hey, I'm Geeky Pastimes, and in this video we're going to go through all the details about the changes that are coming to Call of Duty Vanguard from the Champion Hill Alpha that we played on PlayStation up to the beta, which is going to be running from September 10th. Sledgehammer Games have gone into loads of detail about some of the things that they learned from the alpha, some of the feedback that they've taken on board, and some of the things that they've changed in relation to the alpha, so we're going to try and break that all down right now. So, this is the blog post where they talk about all of this, and what I'll do is just talk through all of these different things that they've done and just try to explain what I think they mean when they're talking about stuff. So one of the first things is the damage overlays changing. So they said they've refined the damage overlay when injured to help maintain visibility. So this is something that happened in the alpha. When you got shot, it went really dark. I personally didn't mind it too much. It seemed like, kind of an interesting effect. Because you've been shot, it should affect you fairly significantly, I think. But yeah, they've agreed with some of the community who were talking about this, and they've decided, okay, that's not going to be quite as dark. They've also talked about changing the lighting just to increase visibility across the board. So they've reduced the density of sun fog, so I'm guessing it'll be a little bit less sort of cloudy, hazy looking. They've increased the rim light around players to help separate them from the background. So what this means is there'll be sort of light around the edge of characters, almost highlighting them. I'm sure it won't be as extreme as it is in like Halo or something like that, but there's definitely going to be an element of like trying to make the players pop a little bit out of the background so they won't blend in with it as well. And they've also adjusted the overall exposure. They said that they turned up all of the lights, so the maps are going to be brighter. For the audio, this is quite a big one because I know lots of people were complaining about footsteps. I just found them really inconsistent in the alpha. They've said that they've made a non-player footstep, the volume slightly increased, the weapon volume's a little bit reduced, and both of those things they've said apply to both enemies and friends. So obviously when you're playing the game, you have your own footsteps and that audio, and now they've sort of moved up the audio from other people and have actually reduced the gunfire sounds. And that's because I imagine lots of the time the gunfire, especially in Champion Hill where you can hear people around in the other 3 matches going on, that was drowning out the footsteps a little bit, so hopefully they're just trying to balance it a bit so you can hear those footsteps. They've also said the announcer volume and call-out frequency has been reduced, and there's been a global mixing pass to improve informative audio for gameplay. I think there's a constant fight with Call of Duty between sort of ambient sounds and immersive sounds versus sounds that actually help you while you're playing. They've talked about Champion Hill spawns. I didn't actually know that we were going to be getting Champion Hill for the next beta, but we are apparently. We're going to get that back as well. And they've said that they've tuned the spawn location, so you're not going to get so much of people spawning right behind you. And they've also got rid of that spawn in Courtyard. I talked about in my tips video actually, where sometimes in Courtyard you would spawn directly opposite another player. And if you were quick, especially if you had a sniper rifle or something, or even a BAR, you could kill the other player as soon as they spawned. So they've got rid of that one. They've also said that there's some other fixes that aren't going to be ready for the beta. So they've said that there's a destructible wall with a mismatched collision model in Champion Hill apparently. Nameplate visibility isn't working quite well because the way it's working at the moment in the alpha, you could see people through the destructible walls really easily, and the reason was if there were any gaps in that wall at all, that would mean that sort of the way they were calculating ray casting, as they call it, for the nameplates was triggering, so you could see people through it. They said that they're going to try and change that at some point, and they also said there's other name tag and aim assist related issues. So like I made a quick video about the idea I could actually get aim assist on someone before they came around a corner. So if someone was going up to a corner and about to peek, my aim assist on my controller started twitching. So it was kind of let you know that someone was going to be there. If you were watching a corner, you got a little bit of advanced warning, which is kind of rubbish. Now, they've talked quite a lot about the different things that are going to be in this beta. It sounds like it's going to be super generous. Now, just to remind you, we get this beta on PlayStation. There's kind of this exclusive early beta, and then a week later, other platforms will get it too. So the maps you get, the first one is Champion Hill, which is the one that has 4 maps within it. That's the big map that Champion Hill works on. Then you also get Hotel Royal, Gavutu, Red Star, and Eagle's Nest. Now Eagle's Nest, it says, won't be until weekend 2, so that'll be in the weekend when other platforms are joining. Obviously you can work out Eagle's Nest is going to be. The other ones are interesting. Red Star, I'm assuming, is something on the Eastern Front, maybe. And Hotel Royale sounds like something in Europe. No idea where Gavutu is. That might be somewhere that's interesting to look up if that's a real place. In terms of modes, they say there's going to be Champion Hill back, so outside of Champion Hill there's going to be another new game mode which we haven't seen before in Call of Duty, called Patrol. It says, based on Hardpoint, this objective-based mode features a scoring zone in near constant motion. So a little bit, like it says, like Hardpoint, but with a sort of area that's moving around, forcing you to kind of patrol around it. So it says, if operators want to rank up points for their team, they should keep up and move around the map within this patrol point. That's a game mode that we've seen in other games before, where you have a kind of moving King of the Hill type objective. It just sounds like that. Then it says you're also going to get classic offerings like Team Deathmatch, Kill Confirm, Domination, and Search and Destroy. These are also the exact modes you can play alongside Patrol during the beta period. Patrol and Search and Destroy will be available later, so they won't be available straight away. Super exciting that we're going to get Search and Destroy, because I always think Search and Destroy plays incredibly differently to Team Deathmatch and Kill Confirms and Domination and stuff like that. So it's going to be really interesting to be able to try all of these different game modes in a beta. Sounds like we're getting a bunch of content. So it confirms there, we get Champion Hill, solos, duos, and trios. So we're going to have solos Champion Hill, which I think could be a lot of fun, especially to stream. I think that'd be quite exciting. Team Deathmatch, Domination, Kill Confirmed, Patrol, which is going to be on the Saturday of the weekend, first weekend, and then Search and Destroy is coming the second weekend. In terms of the weapons, it says Champion Hill's still going to get the weapons. There's going to be 3 rotating weapon sets, whereas before there were 2 rotating weapon sets, so they're adding a new one to that. And then for core multiplayer, you're going to be able to level weapons up to level 30, and PlayStation players will get an extra 2 custom loadout set slots. So at least in Champion Hill, you didn't get custom loadouts at all. You just had to buy the things that are in the rotating weapon sets. This means that we will have custom loadouts for the beta. You'll be able to try a bunch of different weapons and you'll be able to level them up. 30 sounds pretty high. I mean, bear in mind, in Call of Duty at the moment, some of the weapons only go up to like 35 and some of them go up to 55. So it sounds like you're going to get about half of the attachments on a lot of these guns, which will be interesting. Now there's a few other interesting things here. The most interesting, I think, is this combat pacing. So it says combat pacing is a feature that allows players to select the intensity of their games. Player count is determined by map size to achieve the intensity described in the combat pacing system. Player counts will vary. So you get tactical lobbies, which is the normal one, and that's 6v6. Then there's assault, which gives you enough room to breathe and lots of targets to play. So in Beta Weekend 1, player counts will vary between 20 and 28 players. So it sounds like this isn't quite sort of Combined Arms or Fireteam or anything like that, or Ground War. This is something that's got just quite a lot of players. And I'm not sure like if this is going to be on bigger versions of the same maps or whether this is just going to be on, there's going to be a couple of big maps and a couple of small maps. I'm not sure, but this sounds really, really interesting. And then Blitz, where it says high action lobbies where intensity is cranked up to frenetic levels. Prepare for plenty of combat when choosing to join a Blitz. In Beta Weekend 1, player counts will vary between 28 and 48 players. So there's going to be 48 player matches in the beta, on the same maps, I assume, as what 6v6 matches are going to be on. This sounds like it's going to be utterly insane. Like I said, I've got no idea if there's going to be like a small version of the map and a big version of the map, maybe. That would make a lot of sense. Or whether there's just going to be like a middle-sized map where 6v6 it feels kind of empty, and in 48 players it's going to feel super intense. It's really hard to imagine how they're going to do that, but I'm looking forward to finding out. It sounds like it's going to be absolute chaos. They've also got a bunch of operators. Each one has a separate finishing move by the sounds of it. So we've got Daniel Takayatsu, Roland Zima, Lucas Riggs, Polina Petrova, Wade Jackson, and Arthur Kingsley. So we've got 2 new ones there compared to the 4 that we'd seen before. And then they said over the next week they're going to put a lot more information on the Call of Duty blog. And of course I'll be talking about any new information here. So please do like and subscribe if you found any of this information useful. I don't often do these kind of like newsy type videos, but if you find this useful, if you find me explaining it useful, let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to do some more of these. Obviously, as soon as the beta goes live, I'll be playing it live at twitch.tv/Geeky Pastimes, and I hope I see you there. Goodbye.